Hi everyone, it's Gina again, and I want to spend some time going over ArchiveGrid with you. And I'm just going to go over some basics in case you're not as familiar with it or it's a new to you website. And just like the WorldCat video that you can also access, I'm just going to spend a very little time with you and just go over some basics. Now, ArchiveGrid is very similar to WorldCat. And WorldCat is the library catalog for the world, or for those repositories from the world that participate. ArchiveGrid is a catalog for the world's archives. And like WorldCat, not everybody participates. So it's not a substitute for doing additional searches in specific archives you're interested in. For example, the National Archives. Now, just like WorldCat, it's constantly evolving. More entries, more repositories are always being added, so you're going to want to check back frequently. Also, like WorldCat, it is a keyword search. So, go ahead and search on your ancestor's name, but most likely you're going to find items that have to do with your ancestor by searching on a place name, an occupation, a religion, an event, something like that. And don't forget that with archives, we're looking at our ancestors fan club. We're looking for people in the community that wrote about them, that left materials that they are listed in or took part in, like memberships. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do a search on ArchiveGrid and just give you a sense for what you can find. If you saw the WorldCat video, you know I searched on the WCTU, the Women's Christian Temperance Union. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I'll tell you, I've already searched, and in WorldCat I did WCTU. I didn't spell it out, and I received about 1,000 results. The results I get when I do WCTU are significantly less than if I spell it out. So that's something to keep in mind, that when you're using these catalogs, don't stop at one way to search. You need to do a few ways so that you can find everything that you need. Now, I'll go ahead and just do WCTU. And I do that up here at the top search box. And I'll click on search. And there's 358 results, so not a lot. I'll tell you that when I spelled it out, there was over 1,000. So here it is, and as you can see, we'll just take that first entry. It says it's from New Jersey. Their records from 1876 to 1981. Yes, the WCTU still exists. That's why we're seeing those more modern records. Now, it's at Rutgers, and we get a little bit of what's in that collection. So let's go ahead and click on it and see what else we can learn. So archival materials are measured in file folders, boxes, length, and so in this case it tells me that there's 5 boxes, 33 volumes in 5 boxes, and so I can see here that there's everything from it looks like maybe various counties to minutes to clippings, lots of minutes, constitution, scrapbook, so all kinds of things that might be useful if my ancestor was in that time and place. Now, it also tells me that this description is in WorldCat, so I could look at it in WorldCat. Now, over on the right here, it gives me some tags for the topics that are involved. So someone has tagged this, and so that can benefit us. And it also gives me some other groups that are listed in these materials. So if I was searching, that might be helpful to know this, and places. Now, what I would need to do now is I would need to click on contact information, go to Rutgers Library's website, see the entry there, and see how I can access it. most archival collections are not digitized, so you're going to have to either go there or hire someone to go there. I would recommend talking to the archivist and see, are there any restrictions on the collection? Do they have any records that might list individual members? Is there a finding aid? So you could explore that a little bit more. Now, I want to go back and show you something. This was the list view, and it's exactly what you would expect. It's a list of everything in the catalog. And so if I scroll down, you can see that. I could narrow this down because, that's going to be a lot of pages to go through 358 results. I could go to summary view, and there are various boxes: people, group, places, archives, locations, topics, and I could narrow my search by one of these. So that might be useful to you, especially if you're going on a research trip or you're specifically looking for a place and you haven't searched that way, then this might be a great way to do it. Now, the one thing I would caution you about, and let's go back to the front page, the home page. Do you see how it has all these various little balloons, pins that show you various archives that participate? And that's great. In fact, you can go down here and you can look at all these various libraries, archives, and museums that participate. Remember that archival material end up in weird places and not necessarily the place where it makes sense to you, like a California collection being in California. Sometimes that could end up in New York. And that has to do with, where they acquired it, who donated it, all kinds of things. So while it's good to search by a repository, a specific one, especially if you're traveling there, I wouldn't limit my search to that because, like I said, a New Jersey collection could be in California, a California collection could be in England. So you want to search by that keyword and go ahead and search by place if it is a research trip you're going on. Now, I will tell you that Family Search participates in ArchiveGrid, and you can, using this or the zip code, you can go down to, sorry about that, you can go to Utah, and you can go to Family Search, and you can search their collections, which might be useful if you're traveling to the Family History Library. And I can tell you some of these are even digitized, but largely the items in ArchiveGrid are not digitized. It just happens that I know some of these items are on the Family Search Digital Library. So ArchiveGrid is a fabulous resource for finding archival materials. It's not the only place you should search, but it's one of the places to search. I hope that gives you a few ideas, and as we go through our course, you're going to want to be using ArchiveGrid quite a bit to find things that are going to help you tell the story of your ancestors' life. I'll see you in class.